Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Apple has now confirmed when the next Apple event is taking place. It's looking like October 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, a Tuesday, which makes sense. And I hope this invite is actually getting you guys excited. It's definitely getting me pumped, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why you should be excited, just in case you're not. Let's begin. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This entire Mac transition over to Apple Silicon really wasn't meant to just be about more affordable Macs. It wasn't just to be about, ooh, better battery life, and ooh, that's some really powerful performance for a light MacBook Air. This was really truly meant to be the killing blow to that rumor of Apple tax, that you have to pay a lot more money for an Apple product, even though you could probably buy an alternative like a PC with better specifications. With Apple developing their own in-house silicon, they are going to be able to produce and already kind of have performance in GPU and CPU speeds that cannot be rivaled with the competition. And then it's really just going to come down to what software you care about. It's going to be, I need Windows for this software, or I can use a Mac for this software. But overall, the performance gains are going to be unmatched with this chip, whether it's M1X or M2X, or maybe they come out with a brand new type of silicon and call it X1 or P1 or something crazy like that. We don't really know what the official branding is going to be called, but for the record, no one really predicted M1 very accurately, so maybe Apple has a wild card for us. But this event is probably going to be primarily focused on how Apple has developed their fastest chip ever. And yes, this is just about a year after Apple unveiled the last fastest chip ever with the M1, showcased it in 2 laptops and a Mac Mini. And if you want my personal prediction, I think this event is going to be somewhat of a repeat of that this year. It's going to be 2 MacBooks and a Mac Mini, except this time we're not just doing entry-level Macs. This is going to be a 14-inch MacBook Pro, possibly a 17-inch MacBook Pro, alongside a higher-priced Mac Mini with game-changing performance, and it will literally be unbeatable in regards to what kind of CPU and GPU you can get in a $1,100 machine. And it's the same kind of story with the laptops. We're talking about $1,800 likely with a 14-inch model, bringing back legacy ports people really cared about, and even I kind of plan on using, to be honest. I've been switching to recording my videos on a Pocket Cinema camera, which records directly to SD cards, so I'll be able to take advantage of an SD card slot. Also, if you want to plug into projectors or TVs, an HDMI port should be making a comeback. I'm still very confused how MagSafe is supposed to return with this MacBook, because I'm kind of comfortable charging via USB-C, and as long as I can still charge via Type-C, I'm fine with it. But if they turn it into a way where you can only charge via MagSafe, that might start to frustrate me a little bit. But overall, I'm very much in the market for a new Mac, and a mobile one at that, with more lifestyle changes coming up and me wanting to work more away from home from time to time. I think I'm very much interested in seeing how much power I can take with me. And as impressive as it was last year to review a MacBook without any fans, powered entirely by the M1 chip, and it was able to pretty well keep up with my iMac Pro in regards to my streaming and editing workflow, it wasn't quite as fast in export times. It was pretty much faster at everything else, whether it's opening applications, live time editing playback, or boot up time. You know, overall, it was a better machine, except for this one metric, which for my workflow matters quite a bit. As you guys can imagine, when I post these videos so quickly, it helps a lot to have very quick export times. So that was the primary reason I couldn't make the switch to Apple Silicon yet. But I'm expecting all of that to change with the M1X, because this is where we're anticipating 8 high-performance cores, whereas the M1 only has 4. Plus, these individual cores should be built more so on the A15 chip architecture, meaning faster overall. And on top of that, I want more storage than 2 terabytes, which is currently what the M1 maxes out on. And also, I'm very excited to see Mini LED brought to more laptops, because as of right now, Mini LED tech, which basically matches the specifications of the Pro Display XDR, can really only be found in an iPad, which iPadOS kind of limits what you can do with that extreme dynamic range. Whereas a MacBook Pro, that's something that's going to be running, you know, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, or Adobe Premiere, and After Effects, and that's where you really want the XDR type technology. Pretty much everything about these new MacBooks sounds amazing. The only downside, of course, being the removal removal of the touch bar, which I understand most people are fine with, but I was a big fan and I was really not wanting it to go away. But with an updated Mac Mini launching here, some new MacBook Pros with thinner bezels, better displays, better internals, I don't know how you can get bored by this event unless you're just not interested in Macs at all. But in that case, why the heck are you watching this video? This was kind of a waste of time for you, but I'm curious if you guys think all of the leaks and all of the analysts and all of the rumors ended up being wrong all along, because if the Apple Watch Series 7 is any evidence of this, the leakers have gotten lots of things wrong in the past, and we've gotten our hopes up for certain things and then been disappointed, or in my case, had expectations exceeded by certain things. So maybe the touch bar is sticking around and all the leakers were just so off, they thought it was going away, and maybe the legacy ports aren't coming back. And if that's the case, then I could imagine a lot of disappointment. But frankly, even if it looks identical to the current 16-inch MacBook Pro, same I/O, same ports, same touch bar, as long as it has a chip in it that can outperform my iMac Pro, which I think is pretty likely at this point, I'm super duper pumped, and I cannot wait to see Apple talk about how this chip is 3 times faster, 4 times faster, this chip is 2 times faster. Honestly, with the M1 event last year, it was kind of difficult for them to demonstrate speed during a presentation, but hopefully that's why we get some new redesigns with these MacBooks as well. Feel free to let me know what you guys are most pumped for. Do you think there's some other updates we could get at this event as well? This is your Apple Sheep here, and I'm gonna do a live stream shortly where we can speculate on Easter eggs hidden within the invite image itself. Take care all, and I'll see you real soon.